So we ended up making about £1,000 profit every month from this particular property. After the rent and the bills and everything had been paid, we had about £1,000 left, which was not bad at all for a property that we don't own. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cynthia. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And to all my new subscribers, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate and welcome on board. So in today's video, I'll be talking to you guys a little bit about how my property investment journey started, and also give you guys some tips and advice on how to start your property investment journey today. And I'm going to talk to you guys about some no money down strategies that you can actually start off with in case you don't have good credit or you don't have any money in your savings account. You can actually still become a property investor with no money at all. So if you're interested and you want to know how this is possible, because I know it sounds crazy, so if you want to know how this is possible, just sit tight and I'll share all the details with you guys. My journey as a property investor started in 2018 when I was about 31 weeks pregnant for my first daughter. So I can remember one day I was just sitting, I was thinking, oh, I just need to be able to make a more sustainable lifestyle for my kids. I need to build a better life for my kids. And I was just like literally brainstorming myself constantly, thinking how am I going to achieve this? And then one day I was just minding my business, sitting at home, and I literally was just scrolling through Facebook, and I saw the Facebook ad that changed my life. It read, how to get properties for free. And since I am such a lover of all things free, I had to click on that link. And also I am always open-minded to anything. Even when things sound too good to be true, I'm open-minded. I just want to try it out. I will cautiously try it out, but I'm not gonna just be like, nope, too good to be true, I'm not going there. Basically, I saw this ad and I thought I need to try this out. So I spoke to my husband about it, a free seminar. So I thought, okay, then it's free, so I'm just gonna go. So I went to the seminar with my husband and they talked about so many different strategies and it was quite interesting. So we basically decided, listen, we need to sign up for this, and we need to, because after the seminar, we had to sign up for the actual training. It was a 3-day course. I attended the training. I went for this training for 3 days. When this training started, the guy who was the trainer talked about some of the success stories of his successful previous students. He basically talked about this couple. They were like his best success story at the time because they were able to apply the things that he taught in his training and went for the strategy that he taught, and they were able to get their first investment property within 28 days of starting the training. So I was just thinking, okay, that's not bad then. That means it's very doable. Like if they could have done it in 28 days, I guess I can do it in about the same time. That's what I was thinking. And I remember the training, I used to sit right in front, like I was literally right in front of the guy every time he was talking, and I was just listening so intentionally because I was like, listen, I paid X amount of money for this training. It's not about to be wasted. I need to grab every single tiny minute detail from this training because I'm about to put this to practice. The funny thing was, on the first day of the training, from when the guy was doing like the introduction to the course and everything that we were going to be learning and what the course was about, I actually already started looking for properties. I was just looking online on like Zoopla and Rightmove, just going through properties. I didn't even know what I was looking for, but I was just looking. On the second day, by then I had like a bit of an idea of what I was meant to be looking for. So I carried on looking for properties, saved a lot more, took out the ones that I had saved initially that didn't really meet the criteria, left the ones that had potential and that I wanted to contact the estate agents. That was like on a Saturday, so I couldn't obviously call anyone, so I just left it in my saved section. And then on Sunday, on the third day of the training, which was the last day of the training, when I gathered all the information that I 100% needed, I went back and I kind of edited it again and I took out some more properties that I felt definitely did not meet the criteria that I was looking for, and I left the other ones that I felt were like strong potentials. So in the end, I had like about 20 properties saved, which I needed to contact the homeowners and all the agents the next day, which was Monday. So listen, Monday guys, I woke up 9 a.m. and I started making calls. I was calling so many different people, I called over 20 agents and I only got about 4 people. A lot of people were saying, no, sorry, we don't apply this strategy here. And the strategy that I use is rent to rent. So on the Monday morning after the training, I started calling a lot of people, and eventually I think I got about 4 or 5 viewings that day or the next day. So I went for all those viewings, and in the end I had 2 potential properties. One, the landlord was happy to give it to me, but he wanted a few more documents, and then the other one was the agent, and they were just happy to give it to me. So I had to choose because I had 2 of them coming out. The one with the landlord fell through, so we chased the one with the agent. So I was meant to sign the contract. So this was just 3 days. Remember guys, the best success story that this guy that trained me has had was a couple who got their first property after 28 days. So this was the 3rd day after the training now, and I already have property in the pipeline. It's about to be secured. And the funny thing was that I was also at the time studying a full-time master's degree, and it was so demanding. And I remember the agent wanted to meet on Thursday to sign the contracts and exchange paperwork, but I couldn't meet with him on the Thursday because I had a deadline. So we met on Friday, which was the 5th day after the training, and we signed the contract, and I got the keys to a 6-bedroom HMO property, which I basically rent the room out on a room by room basis. So I basically sent my success story talking about how everything happened and how I finally secured my very first property just 5 days after the training. I made a little video that I probably post somewhere here, and I said, oh, look at me and my bum, we did it in 5 days. We were able to secure a property, 6-bedroom HMO property. I am literally over the moon. So as soon as I posted that on the Facebook group chat, the trainer, he started using my success story to motivate and inspire people during his course. So he'd be like, look at Cynthia, if she can do it at 31 weeks pregnant, if she could secure a property being heavily pregnant, what is stopping you? You can do it. You know how these people So every time he had a training session, I would have lots of Facebook friend requests, and a lot of people would be like, Cynthia, we've just seen your story about your journey as a property investor. I'm so inspired. And they would ask me lots of questions. It just felt really nice to, be like, appreciate it. Guys, honestly, ignore the bags right now because I'm extremely tired. I'm shooting this video at like 3 a.m. in the morning, and I had to put it out there for you guys. So please like this video because this video is taking away my sleep. And if you know, I'm a new mom with a 3-month-old child, so I should really be sleeping right now. So yeah, that's it about how I started. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what strategy I use. So basically, the strategy that I started with is called rent to rent. You rent the property from the landlord or the landlady or the agent. So you rent the property as a whole and you rent it off on a room by room basis to professionals or students who are just looking for accommodation but can't really afford to get like a whole property on their own. This type of dwelling is also called a HMO, which basically means house in multiple occupancy, where 3 or more people from different families come together and live in one property. When I started this journey, I honestly did not have no money. I was broke as it gets. When we got our first property, it was a 6-bedroom property and the rent was about 2,400. The rent initially they were asking for 2,700, but we managed to negotiate a 2,400 deal, which wasn't bad for the area of London where it was. So we ended up making about £1,000 profit every month from this particular property. After the rent and the bills and everything had been paid, we had about £1,000 left, which was not bad at all for a property that we don't own. We didn't put down any sort of bulky money. All we did was really just pay the rent, the first month's rent. This is when you don't need a lot of money. So depending on what part of the country you're living, you can get 4, 5, 6 bed properties in certain areas in the country. You can get that for even less than £1,000, and you're probably going to be making just about the same profit because it always works out to be about the same profit. If you've got up to 5 to 6 rooms to let, you're probably going to be making around £1,000 profit if it's in a great location and the property is in good state. So you can definitely become a property investor today if you set your mind to it and if you're willing to put in the work, because I can tell you this now, it's not easy work. Like I said, I was 31 weeks pregnant when we got this property and it was unfurnished, so we had to buy all the furniture and I was down on my knees literally trying to like couple the bed. We had to try and save cost as much as we could. I did the cleaning myself, so it is not easy, especially if you're starting with no money, because that means you're gonna have to do a lot of the work. So after I got that first property in November, I had my baby in January, and I basically took some time off, and I didn't go back to looking for properties until around June, July that year. So I called an agent and I said, oh, this is what I'm looking for. And they said, this particular property is not going to work because the landlord doesn't want to do this. But however, we do have another property that's coming on the market. It's not even on the market yet. It's an 8-bedroom studio flat property, which I think would be great for you. And said, do you think you can work with that, or is that too much for you? And I was thinking in my mind, what the, like, this is a lot. 8 studio flats. What am I going to do with 8 studio flats? I didn't know what to do, but I was like, yeah, sure, that's easy peasy. I can definitely take that on and I can manage it. And that was how we got our second property, and our actually it was 2 properties together. So we got our second and our third property. And then I remember when we got this 8-bed property, so like I said, it was around July I think it was 2019. And I remember I was thinking, so we've got these properties now, 8 studio rooms. I said to my husband, we can't have these rooms empty. We need to let them out like ASAP. The first month it was taking a bit long to rent it out, and because we got it on the rent-to-rent strategy, we had to freaking pay the rent by the end of the next month. And I said, listen, we cannot have an empty property while we've got rent to pay, because the rent for all the properties was about 4,000 something, so it was quite a lot. I said to him, since we still got these rooms empty, we've just got 2 more weeks to go before we pay the next month's rent. We need to do something about this. We bought a lot of stuff, dressed the room up, like set it all up, made it look quite nice, and basically just posted the rooms on Airbnb and said, listen, we've got all these rooms, who wants to come to our house and spend a night or two, just come. We made over £3,000 from just those 2 rooms. And then we added all the 8 studio rooms because we didn't have no tenants just yet. We were advertising it in 2 places, so on Airbnb as service accommodations where people just come and go, and then also on like platforms where we were actually looking for long-term tenants. And we ended up renting 5 of the rooms, and we decided to leave the other 3 rooms on Airbnb because it was doing so well. Obviously we did get affected with the whole situation that's been happening with the whole pandemic, but those rooms that we initially left for Airbnb, we converted them back into rentals. So yeah, this is just like an overview of my property investment journey, and I just want to share some tips that can also help you guys start your property investment journey today. There's no point waiting. I know a lot of people say they want to get into properties, but they either don't know how, or they think they need a lot of money, but you do not need a lot of money. I'm literally living proof that you don't need a lot of money to start property investment. There's so many strategies. There's strategies that you actually don't even need any money at all, and I'm going to share all of that with you guys. So put down your phones, grab a cup of water, a pen and a notepad, and take some notes. So the first tip is to educate yourself. So I'm not saying go and spend tens of thousands of pounds on a course. What I'm saying is you need to go online. There's an abundance of resources out there that talk about different strategies in property investment that you can actually start off with. And like I said, a lot of them need very little or no money at all. You do not need a perfect credit or loads of money in your savings account. What you need is time, determination, and a great mindset to kickstart your property investment journey. Educate yourself and learn and understand these strategies, and actually just find ones that work for you. Let's say you had a perfect credit score and you had lots of money in your bank account and you don't know what to do with all that money. Guess what, guys? You can actually invest that in property. You might want to consider strategies such as buy to let, where you buy a property and rent it out to people, or buy, refurb, refinance and rent, or buy, refurb and resell. Or you can even consider developing a property if you've got a lot of money in your account. So these are all the things that you can consider, but I just want to focus on people who don't have no money at all, or don't have great credit and want to invest in property but don't know where to start. If you don't have no money and poor credit, then click the link on the screen right now and watch the second part of this video for all the other tips to help you get started. Please ask me any questions you might have in the comment section and I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.